and to really represent your professional concerns on the commission. First 5 is about investing in the early years. It's about making sure that children get the best start in life so that they are successful in school and throughout their careers. Because we know that the first 5 years have an impact that lasts a lifetime. We were created as a result of Proposition 10, which was the tobacco tax that was voted in by voters of California, that basically gave a revenue stream to fund programs for health, early learning, and family supports. Here in Ventura County, we receive about $10 million a year that we re-grant out into the community for these types of programs. This is an audience that I don't need to tell about the amazing window of opportunity we have in the first 5 years, about the brain development research that we know what we do truly makes a difference. One of the core things that we do is that we've created a community-based service system that we call Neighborhoods for Learning. We affectionately call it NFL. So we use the small f because we don't want to get in trouble with the big guys. But I have to tell you that when you're at a health fair and you have NFL on the banner, it's amazing how many of the fathers come over to see what it's all about. That's really been great. What happens in these community-based service systems is that families can get access to early learning, to preschools. There's family resource centers. They get hooked up to services that they're eligible for. Children receive oral health care. They get enrolled in health insurance programs. Families are learning about the importance of reading to their children at an early age. All the things that we know make a difference. And we're seeing a result. We're seeing that children entering kindergarten are entering more ready to learn because they've had this early foundation. We have made a particular investment in special needs. One of our key visions is that all children will receive developmental screenings early and as often as needed. To this end, we've also made investments in the service system. We've been working with early childhood educators to make sure that they can accommodate children with special needs in their classrooms. We're about to launch a program for parents to help them navigate the system of services and to help them understand their child's development. We're particularly concerned with the mildly involved, those children who you all know often just fall through the cracks. They don't get identified early enough, they don't get services, and by the time they need services, they need more intensive services. And yet we know if we can see them early, that we can serve them in natural settings. We can serve them in our preschools, we can serve them in our regular types of programs for birth to 3-year-olds. To this end, we are particularly excited with the program that we've been doing at the Landon Pediatrics Foundation. In this breakthrough series that you'll hear more about throughout the day, basically the Landon Pediatric Foundation is working with different practice groups and piloting the implementation of different developmental screening tools. They have 2 different practice groups. They're using PEDS, they're using the ASQ, and what's happening with this is that they're sharing learnings, they're sharing challenges, they're figuring out how do we implement this, how do we break through some of the normal practice barriers and make this a model that we can take to scale and have happen in all of the different pediatric practices. The benefits of those learnings are what will form some of the learnings in this conference today. We know that the screenings make a difference. The literature tells us that 9 to 16% of children are at risk for developmental delays, and more astounding, about 80% of those often go unnoticed until it's too late. In the practices that have been doing ongoing developmental surveillance and screenings, we see really, really large numbers. An increased referrals of over 200%. About 1/3 of those children who end up in services and about 40% of them who appropriately go on to regular developmental surveillance. We're very excited about engaging and partnering with the physician community. You, of all people, are the people that our children and families go to first and develop their most important relationship in the community. We share a common concern, the health and well-being of children, and we believe that to this end, we are natural partners. Let me just briefly mention some other programs we're doing with physicians. One is we have a kit for new parents that goes to all parents who are giving birth in the county. It's a kit that's developed by the state, but through many of our distribution partners, such as yourselves, first-time parents, and even second and third-time parents, are able to receive this kit, which is just this great how-to guide. Secondly, again, through the Landon Pediatric Foundation, we have a Reach Out and Read program. There are 35 physicians who are participating in that, and over 1,500 books have already been delivered as part of Well Child Baby. visits, and I bet that number is old by now. It's probably a few months beyond that. And finally, I call your attention to our Born Learning program. We have some wonderful materials in the back. This is a partnership that we have with United Way. It's a national program. It's a web-based program that parents can go to a trusted source and receive some wonderful information about development and what are those early learning opportunities that I can do with my child at home. We look forward to building on this work. We really want to hear your perspective on the issues facing our children and families in the community. We want to make sure that you know about our services so that we can continue to make them accessible and relevant to the families that we serve. So we look forward to this future partnership. I thank you for being here today.